Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the post G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like I'm bossy.
Hey yo, Idris, tell them they're gonna take the piss. One step you step out to that turn up in a diss. Body comfortable, I'm physically fit. I'm a brown and sweet just like the chocolate. Yo, Wiley, them all sound like me. Other than a pussy pretty with the okra body. Shut down in the city with me bad girl pussy. Every man want piece of me. The back of them a pop and them a bun weed. Man want wine behind me have to move kind dusty. I'm looking for a brother who got hella pound. 079 baby, I'm a hammer, did you stop?
Bossy, bossy, Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the post. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like it's bossy.
Hey yo, Sean.
Come wine to the broke off your back, broke off your back, broke off your, broke off your, broke off your back. If you broke off your back, broke off your back, broke off your, broke off your, broke off your back. Girl, you know you got the glue, know you got the glue, know you got the glue. Come broke off your back, broke off your back, broke off your, broke off your, broke off your back, girl. Who you are ramp with? On a game, anytime you're ready, girl. So me name, the place get wet like in a rain. Then I make you feel high like on a plane. She say I saw the love, the act, baseline sweet and I touch the spot. Dancing, she love to that, girl. Coach the chat, come wine till you broke off your back, broke off your back, broke off your, broke off your, broke off your back. If you broke off your back, broke off your back, broke off your, broke off your, broke off your back. Girl, you know you got the glue, know you got the glue, know you got the glue. Come broke off your back, broke off your back, broke off your, broke off your, broke off your back.
Road from town to country, every youth say your money we a go for. 20 on me back so me mother can't suffer. We say we a hustle, we a hustle, we a hustle. Sherlock, we a hustle, we a hustle, we a hustle. Valley, we a hustle. Riverton, we a hustle. Juiceland, we a hustle. We a hustle. We say we a hustle, we a hustle, we a hustle. We a hustle, we a hustle, we a hustle. We a hustle. Jungle, we a hustle. Junker, we a hustle. Outside, we a hustle. The street I say cigarette, phone card, money now come look. Go down a town, go look too bad. Bandy black, you go drop a coke shop. Every youth have a goal and a plan. Better that than for a beggar man.
I cement regulars and bubble.
Try a thing. If you no win, I still hustling. We a hustle, we a hustle, we a hustle. Teaching. We a hustle, we a hustle, we a hustle. We a hustle. We a hustle. 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 This side. We a hustle, we a hustle, we a hustle. Come on, sir. We a hustle, we a hustle, we a hustle. We a hustle. Nannyville. We a hustle. Abbeville. We a hustle. Tenville. We a hustle. Rockford. So me rise early, cut late. Sexy queen size with a big for a date. Me a do road, cupboard, fat, Alice a fi load. Book fi buy, school fee fi pay. Me meditation never ever stray. Work before me old and grey. So all in a PlayStation.
Ati black chocolate, fine melanin. Toka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye wanapenda. So kanapenda toto, chupa na haga nono.
Like a boss.
Tena wema pewa tako. Kwangu ni clean, so butafagia kwako. Nikuje ndogo, jutakula kushoto. Usitake kuona na my dirty version. Nilijam nikasample mali yako. Manzi yako na mpango wako wa kando. Tunapiga trio sam, tunakusengenya. Ni Mr. Last Guy, manzi yako ashanipenda. Mtoto wa nyumbani, toto la home, Kenyan girl kanapenda.
Mr. DJ! Habari yenu Youth Village? Good morning. Nimewamisa sijawaona wala siku mzima. Nana kumbuka hii dance? Nana ikumbuka? Hiyo nyene yako tu sahi na Mr. DJ. Mnaikumbuka si ndio? Tuifanye si ndio? Ilikuwaje? Open, close, open, close, snap, alafu slide, step, then go down, then 1 2 3 4. DJ tujaribu si ndio? Rudie.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na haga nono.
like a boss.
Tenda wema pewa tako, kwangu ni clean so butafagia kwako. Nikuje ndogo juu takula kushoto, usitake kuona na my dirty version. Nilijam nikasample mali yako, manzi yako na mpango wako wa kando. Tunapiga trio sam, tunakusengenya ni Mr. Last Guy. Manzi yako ashanipenda, mtoto wa nyumbani, toto la home. Kenyan girl kanapenda ganji, she ain't a hoe. Bad bitch kwa hii party, vibe iko top kwenye flow. Joka na perform, joka na perform. Pickpock anapenda kuzitoka, TikTok anakonga TikToka. Pickpock anapenda stick proper, big bomb vile akona big bumper. Pickpock anapenda kuzitoka, TikTok anakonga TikToka. Pickpock anapenda stick proper, big bomb vile akona big bumper.
Hapendi vijana wa Roysambu, hapendi kupelekwa hizo klabu. Mi nataka jo a trend, akule vitu best, alafu nikafanye maajabu.
Kipao
Wanauliza niko wapi, niko Rurasho. Inika Nairo mind wa business 254. Nani follow manze kama jiza disciple. Rapa round mimi na kandanga kama chapo. Kuna lugha enda west ikatuke mamboch. Kani ngoma mimi nasikizanga world boss. Eti best rapper Kenya ni Calligraph Jones. Sasa inatopizwa kwa round huko New York. Niko insecure ile design ya Sauti Sol. Mademu wamepararaka dansa wa Willy Paul. Kwela ni nderere alafu ball. Role model wangu manze si ni Brida Law. Nikidai Tumblr new press meja Joe, tuna enjoy mpaka tunavunjika hiyo. Kitanda silete matanga bro, kelele za mkun bado zipasui cho. Mtumi na rank maze pipi na Dior, kelele za mkun bado zipasui cho. Eti tulienda wapi si tuko Jibagajat, tulienda wapi si tuko Jibagajat. Ai Jibagajat kwenye na miguu, tatiza movie toka mtoto ni kivumbi. Tukifuata hiyo kivuli mtu anakunja vifuli. By the way sufuata dingo kama mbuzi gang. Furthermore pono chumwe na mwarubaini bang bang. Tukiwakisha kwa toja kuna bang shang. Tutachisha history unalipisha mtu kwa Jibagajat.
Look at this logo, body they throw me like coconut. Body they rise me like no.
Oh, Mr. DJ. Appreciate them. Even I'm not appreciate after Meji Bamba. All right, thank you so much. Tuendelea na hiyo music after the session. So sahi nataka kuinvite NYC. Wangapi wanajua NYC? What is NYC in full? Si wetu wametoka NYC. Wangapi wanajua NYC? Yes.
National Youth Council.
Yes, National Youth Council. So we want to have a discussion, a very interesting discussion on fostering collaborative mindsets for democratic progress. And to lead us in that session will be none other than Rachel. Makofi ya Rachel as she comes on stage.
Hello. Good morning. Mnanisikia? Yeah, as I've been introduced, my name is Rachel Makuba from the highly esteemed National Youth Council. I work in the Department Communications and Advocacy. And this morning, like she has said, we are going to be having a discussion by name, The Power of Mindset Change in Fostering Collaborative Mindsets for Democratic Progress. Ni ndefu sana. Mmeelewa? Basically, we're talking about changing our mindsets for democratic processes as young people. Inatuhusu aje, inakuhusu aje as a young person. And so for this conversation, we're going to have a panel of 4 people, and I'd like to call on stage Miss Christine Mwaka, Director Corporate Services. Miss Christine Mwaka is the Director Corporate Services at Kenya Universities and College Central Placement Services. COOPS. Ile mnasikia kitwa COOPS. Karibu sana Miss Christine. You may take a seat. And then I'll call on stage Johan Kim. Mr. Johan Kim. He is the Karibu sana. Welcome so much. Next on stage, we're going to have the project manager with over 20 years in the field, engaging young people, women, and people living with disabilities. Karibu sana, Mr. Lanyon, to our conversation this morning. Next on stage, we're going to invite Madam Margaret Kiogora, our acting CEO at National Youth Council. She is a dynamic and a visionary leader who presently holds the CEO role at NYC. Karibu sana, Madam Kiogora. Welcome so much to our panel this morning, to our discussion. I think at this stage I'll invite my co-moderator, Madam Moirimo, to take over.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Habari zenu? Mko poa? Mko sawa? Sasa hii tent yenye mko ni tent ya vijana. Sasa nyinyi ndio mmeweza. Mimi naitwa Wairimo Waweru, nafanya kazi National Youth Council. I'm in charge of
collaborative mindset for democratic processes. So you are here to talk to the young people. The young people are here to question you. They're here to learn from you. Mr. Johan Kim, kindly tell us, at the International Youth Fellowship, what are you all about? What do you do at IYF? And what really has been your role in fostering these democratic processes for the young people, especially because you are more international?
Yes, thank you very much. As you heard, my name is Johan Kim, currently working as a chairman of IYF, our dance team members, the one who performed just now. They were very energetic, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I'm so proud of them. Let's give them another big round of applause. Yes. Actually, my name is Johan Kim, but in Nairobi, they call me Kimani. Yes.
I like that.
Now I also lived in Kenya for this year, going to 16th year. Yes, wow. And so, but I don't know why they're not giving me a citizenship yet. I'm still waiting for that, for dual citizenship. But for 16 years now, I've been working in Kenya for youth and the young people, for development of the young people, and helping the youth with financial and materialistic support, I think, is very important. But however, supporting them with finances and materialistic things without the foundation of having the right mindset, I think eventually turns into just nothing. Yes, of course, there must be people who are really benefiting from those kind of, and we may have success stories, but I believe for democratic society, I think the foundation, the change of the mindset, that is our main pillar, and coming with many other activities such as, it's not that there are...
Thank you so much, Mr. Kimani. We'll still call you, yes, to still speak more in terms of our topic today, and maybe to further expound on what it is we are. Author. He's a Russian author. He's called Leo. Hiyo jina ingine sitataja, bora mkumbuke. He's called Leo. So Leo says, everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing themselves. Do you believe that that change starts from within? Aya, hold.
Mama sindio? Asante. Because the process must now affect. Politics is really even for young people, right? And the democratic processes. Good. And indeed, it's a pleasure to be here. Please allow me to also just pass greetings from my executive director, the Reverend Hamisi Kirenga, who would have loved to be here but for other commitments coming up. And so to your question, Madam Rachel, Spread Truth Africa is a faith-based non-profit organization that seeks to reach our communities that are value-driven through what is our DNA, basically God's story. And in doing that, we seek to leave a truly indelible mark in the people that we interact with a focus with young people. And that would explain why today we're here with the National Youth Council that basically is the voice of the youth in this country. We have youth programs. We have a pillar on nutritional support and medical camps, leadership training. Two programs beat. Under that, we've got activities that support that particular. Looking forward to the interaction.
Wonderful. Makofi. Hey, jamani.
Thank you so much. Na makofi. Pigeni makofi.
Our next panelist is Director Corporate Services, Miss Christine Mwaka. Can you tell us what COOPS you're all about? Tunasikianga COOPS. Mnajua mambo ya COOPS. But najua wengine mkiuliza COOPS inafanyanga nini hata mjui. Aya, jueni leo. Tell us more about COOPS.
Good morning, everybody. I'm glad to be here. I enjoyed the dance. I wasn't prepared for it, but nevertheless, I enjoyed it. So COOPS stands for Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service. Some people call us KUSIPS, others call us COOPS, but we like it as COOPS. My name is Christine Mwaka, and I'm the Director Corporate Services. Corporate Services basically oversees finance, HR, administration. Our CEO is Dr. Agnes Wahome. She wasn't able to be here because of other assignments. So I'm here representing the institution and delegated by the CEO. So COOPS is an organization which is a state corporation. It was set up through a Universities Act of 2012. You know, we promulgated our constitution in 2010. So this was born after. And you know, the Constitution gave us a lot of rights, access to education and inclusivity and all that. That's through an equitable way and to enhance access. So we started operations in 2014. So a board was appointed and then now operations were kicked off. Previously, for the older people, there was joint admission board. That's how students used to be placed to universities. But now, place students to universities and colleges. And when I say colleges, it also includes the TVETs, teacher training colleges. We place students, and most of you are just, you are our clients. We place students to universities and colleges. Why do we place them? We place them so that they can be empowered socially, economically, and politically. And for placing them, there's of course a criteria that is used to place them. We have a portal where students apply. And in that portal, you exercise one of your democratic rights of making a choice. You choose the course that you're supposed to take. Further to that, we do career guidance. We go to schools to talk to the students so that they're able to identify what are their strengths, what is the career path that I want to chart so that they can chart their destination. And we, of course, teach them or guide them to be responsible students. And we start it at an early age, even in Form 1, so that you can shape your career path at the onset. When doing that, we collaborate with even the teacher level. We also bring in the parents. We also have the principals organization to placement of students to universities. As a repository of data, the youth as students, when they're doing research, they come and get that data. Youths who want to pursue careers, they also come and seek for. Further to that, we carry out advisory services. We provide advisories to government so that they can know how to progress. Looking at the population, the way it has increased, you can see there are so many universities. Previously, we had just one university. It gave birth to, we had 4 major ones, but now we are almost everywhere so that we can ensure that our students go to the universities and colleges. We also have TVET. TVET is a focus of the current government, whereby you are being equipped with technical skills. We are not we don't want just to give you skills that you're looking for a job. We want you guys to employ yourselves. And there are so many forums, there are so many fundings that have been set up so that even once you go to you get your technical skills, you can still self-employ yourself, the IT skills. We also look at the government priority agendas and advise now in terms of the courses that people should focus on. So basically that is what COOPS is. We look at this young person. We want to work with this one person until we place them to the universities and hand them over to the universities.
Thank you, Madam Catherine. Makofi? Oh, Christine. Sorry, Madam Christine. So we have our next, is she a contestant or a panelist? I wanted to know whether guys are sleeping or they are listening. So, Madam CEO, karibu sana to our session. Kindly introduce yourself. Yes. Tell us what NYC is all about. And then now we can jump into the actual discussion of the day.
Thank you very much, Wairimo and Rachel, for convening us here so that we can have this conversation. As it was said earlier, my name is Margaret Kiogora, and I'm the acting CEO of National Youth Council. Allow me to just take this opportunity to celebrate. I know our conversation is coming just after the International Women's Day. And I want to take an opportunity to thank the women who are there before us. Because let's clap for them, please. Because they created a platform so that we can be able to sit here. We want to celebrate you. Who is sitting here as a woman making change? Clap for yourself, tafadhali. And finally, I want to celebrate the young girls seated here. I can see a few of them. You're making change in the society where you come from. Congratulations for coming here. When I look at what we do as National Youth Council, our work, first of all, our institution is formed under an Act of Parliament, NYC Act of 2009. And this, for most of us, those who remember, came immediately after the post-election, where it was seen necessary that, number one, we need an institution that can be able to represent the youth, because our youth felt that they did not have an avenue to be able to be represented. So in 2009, we were able to get an Act of Parliament, and we've been able to have an institution, which is an agency under the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy, and Sports. We have two PSs who leads us, that is Mr. Ismail Made and Mr. Engineer Tum. So we appreciate the leadership because they've been able to empower National Youth Council to be an institution that represents young people. So our work is majorly on 3 pillars. I want you to tell your neighbors, National Youth Council is anchored on 3 pillars. 3 pillars, some are 3 pillars. 3 pillars. And that is representation, participation, and association. If you leave this place, please remember those 3 things, because that's the reason why National Youth Council is there. And institutions that are parastatal.
Something that Madam also had also want you to also touch a bit on matters like now National Youth Council. What are we doing on matters voluntarism, on matters having to change that mindset, as we also begin with answering that question? Because I believe the young people are your constituents, and you being their leader seated up there, what do you think causes that issue of mindset?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to commend the young people here, because it shows that we are where the conversations are being done. young people wanajitumanga. To be honest, sometimes we can complain about young people, but young people wanajituma. They are out there. When you look at the people who are championing matters climate action, ni nani? Ni my youth. Guys championing for SRH, ni nani? Ni my youth. So youth, I want to commend you, especially the ones that are here and even the ones that are listening online, because it shows that you know that there's a conversation going out there and you're making an impact in your own way, in your own small space, wherever you are, you're making that impact. To come to the question that you're asking, what makes us to be selfish sometimes? To be honest, it's where our society is. You find it's how we find it's a me society. It's a me, even in your own house, you find as in you're fighting for my house, not even for the neighborhood. You would find a neighborhood burning, but you're like, let me put out the fire from my house. But you're forgetting, if you don't help your neighbor, that fire will still come to you. So by having that mentality of we need to work together, we need to work and to hold each other as a society. We need to go back to our ways, our forefathers' ways, that we seem to have forgotten. We need to go back and appreciate. It could have gotten to a point where we feel they are outdated, but guess what? They are not. We are being reminded by those old ways, those sitting down a tree and listening to an elder person to guide us is very, very critical. Back to what National Youth Council does. National Youth Council has so many programs that I would wish our young people would take advantage of. Number one is what I was talking about, inter and intra-generational dialogue. By us not having that dialogue, we will be assuming this is what the youth are going through. By us not allowing ourselves to engage, we will be coming with a mindset that we have that is perceived of what the challenges are. But the minute we have a kikao where we say, what is causing drugs and substance abuse? What is causing teenage pregnancies? What is causing and matters FGM? What is leading us to go there? You go and find someone is saying, the reason why I'm doing a FGM is because I'm a cutter and I'm going to make money out of it. So how can we be able to change this person's mindset, to see the harm they are doing, and how else they can be able to even make a living without practicing some of these habits that are harmful? Apart from that, look at someone who is taking drugs. Sometimes you find they are going through a mental challenge. Sai tukisema umechizi, si tunachekanga tunasema umse amechizi, and we actually say that randomly. Ule mse amechizi. But when you think about it, mental issues are serious issues that we cannot ignore. When one of you is not healthy, just go back to your home. When one person is sick, hata akiwa na headache, stomachache, do you know it affects all of you? And the minute we understand that is the minute that we are going to be very involved to ensure that we change the mindset. I'm sure we've all heard of the glass half full, glass half empty. How do we look at life? How do we look at even these democratic processes? Do we look at them that they're already flawed from the word go? It means we are always seeing the glass is half empty. Can we look at the opportunities that have been provided? When you look at the people, there are people who've been elected to legislative position. Either they are members of parliament or members of county assembly. And they've been part of National Youth Council. So National Youth Council has provided a platform. So by looking at it and saying, truly, we've seen young people getting an opportunity through National Youth Council because they vied when they were council members, and now they've gotten those opportunities. So for me, it's saying we have to have a mind shift. We have to change, and we see what opportunities are there and how can we be able to grab them. Thank you.
Makofi. Hey, tumelala. Mnasikia? Makofi. Mmesikia kitu? Are you getting something? Yeah? And if you've realized, you people, this panel is a representation of the different areas of our life. Unaendanga church, sindio? Unaendanga shule, sindio? Ukitoka shule unaenda kwa institution fulani kama NYC kufanya job, sindio? So that is why this panel here, we should be attentive, because whatever they are saying is a representation of the holistic young person. The one that goes to church, gets something from church, goes to a university like UON, gets something like that. And these places are responsible for the kind of mindsets we get to have. True or true? So that is why this panel is here today, to demystify, to empower us, to correct some of the mindsets that we've set over the years. Na ndio maana lazima tusikize. So I'd like to go to Ken Lanyo. And you are at Spread Truth, right?
Yes.
Spread Truth ni FBO, tulikuwa Kajiado the other day, right? And we were able to see what Spread Truth does. And yes, it's work towards the community, but it really has a God factor in it. So as a faith-based organization, and one that also works with the young people, how are you using your organization to change mindsets? What is the approach, the faith-based approach that you are using in fostering collaborative mindsets for these democratic processes?
Thanks, Rachel. That's really a great question. And as Spread Truth Africa, we believe that true transformation cannot come without the renewal of your mind. And the renewal of your mind for a young person, and especially because I can see we're really looking at, as far as the democratic process is concerned, if we do not have the relevant conversations, if we do not have the relevant communities, then commonality is lost. Because what we are trying to achieve in the world, everyone, is to come to a place of just having what we call a common ground. Let me tell you a story, or rather to the audience. My father at some point moved us to Kiambu Road. Those days, 22 years ago, how many were alive here 22 years ago? Seated on the other side. I didn't think that many were alive, or born for that, or even if your parents had met. But anyway, story for another day. And so my friend Maggie took me to their house, which is not a strange thing. But one thing I noted is that for the 1 hour that we were there, for whatever reason, the mother had this intent look at me. She never took her eyes off of me. Yes. Thank God I grew up in Eastlands, so I was not intimidated, but I noticed that, Maggie's mom is just looking at me. So anyway, I took it in my stride, and later as we were leaving, I made a mention to it. So I asked Maggie, I noticed your mother never stopped looking at me. What she said next, I burst out laughing. She said, "You are the first Luo man my mother has ever seen." I kid you not, people. That was her response. Now, back to the question. As I build up that point. Young people, transformation can only come when we gather the way we have gathered. And as Spread Truth, we are very intentional about it. We use faith-based organizations, churches, mosques, if you will, as a place where young people can come and see how other people actually live, how other people do things. There's an African saying that you may think your mother is the only one who can make what? Is it good ugali or good chapati? Until you go to another place and find out that there's a better cook than your mother. And so the beauty about that is that we are having conversations. Conversations lead to community. Community leads to commonality. And that's exactly, Rachel, what you saw in Kajiado the other day. I don't come from Kajiado. Catherine comes from Kajiado. Kimani there, a young person, does not come from Kajiado. My ED does not come from Kajiado, but we feel that if we go there and engage the young people in Kajiado, then we're able to see that transformation. Madam Werimu, we went with you to the Kerio Valley, engaging killing machines morans, and they put their guns down. True or not true? They put their guns down to be able to have conversations with us, mobilizing through churches. And you know what? They left that place knowing, wow, kumbe, we can be involved. Kumbe, we can participate. Kumbe, our voice can be heard. Asante.
Thank you so much, Deacon, because I also know you as Deacon Lanyo, which is a very good thing. And guys, you've heard what he's mentioned. Some of the things that really were coming out is the spirit of intentionality, leaving an indelible mark, going somewhere and making sure you've made that difference. I'm sure you've captured that, right? And you also heard Mr. Kimani talk about the spirit of what? Voluntarism, right? You heard our Madam CEO talk about what? Guys, we said we are here to interact. Sindio? See, we said we are here to talk to each other. So you also need to follow the conversation, all right? Because after Madam here makes her presentation, now we will go back to the floor so that you give us our views about today's discussion, okay? So, in the academic field, Mr. Kimani here said something, that you cannot take young people to class and teach them how to change their minds. So, I want you to answer that question. Is it true? Is it false?
I agree, it is true. You cannot take kids to school to change their mindsets. Changing your mindset comes from within, and it's also a way of life. And it's a way we were oriented. But what I say is, it is never too late. We may have grown that way, but we still have a chance. We've grown up, our country is a capitalistic economy. It's all about me and how much I can make, how, you know. But you see, if I build a house and it has everything, I have to ensure I really put high walls and all that, so that the person out there who doesn't have something doesn't come, but they'll eventually come. So I think as a country, one, of course, you have to be patriotic. We have our values that are now in the Constitution. Inclusivity. We want to include everybody. We want to ensure everybody is empowered. And even like in COOPS, what we say is that every child has a place in the education sector, whether you got an A or you got an E. That's where we have TVET. If you have an E, I'm not telling you to get an E, but if you have an E, you can do an artisan course. We have certificates, we have diplomas, and we have degrees. So there is room for everybody. We want to ensure we empower every Kenyan youth with skills. The technical skills that I talked about, even plumbing and all that. This, we have the affordable housing that is there, and most of the skills that are required are basically in the TVET sector. So those are areas of priority. But also, we have to inculcate in us values and also be patriotic. I once visited South Korea, and what I noticed, they are very patriotic. They have oneness that is there, and they take their kids out in the US to study, but those kids know they have to come back and build their country. That is something I never give up. I still say that we have a good country as Kenya, and we have good things in Kenya, we have good policies, we have great minds in Kenya that can change things. So it all starts with us. Change starts with me and you, and everybody. that I appreciate. Education access, we've provided access to almost everybody. From the very bottom up to university, I think there's access that has been provided. But we have to inculcate values even in our kids. Everybody has a role, even a mother in the house. Don't say, mwalimu ndio atafanya hii. You have your role, and the teacher has their role. And that's the only way we can bring up good citizens, because we want to live together harmoniously. We want inclusivity in everything that we do. In terms of mindset change and all that, I know we interacted with IYF, and they trained all the members of staff, just a change of mindset and all that, because we go and talk to these young people so that even when we are talking to them, even the career guide we do, we ensure that we're also looking at change of mindset. Stereotypes affect a lot in terms of the career path you want to undertake, but we're looking at breaking those stereotypes. You can do it. Girl child, STEM subjects, science subjects, maths, you can do it. So we are all in this space, but we are lifting the ones who are not able, so that we can all be in a good playing field. Asante.
Thank you. Makofi kwa Madam Christine. Thank you so much. That is so nice. I like the fact that you've talked about career guidance, that you offer career guidance so that you break down the stereotypes that people grow up with. Akiambiwa, hey, maths kwa msichana, you can't do engineering, you can't be a doctor, you can't do those things. So that you change those mindsets and you empower these people to know that they can do more. Thank you so much. I'll take it to Johan Kim, and I'd like you to enlighten us. In your quest to, maybe in your interaction with young people and in your quest to change this mindset democratically, have you encountered any challenges? Would you be able to describe these challenges to us and how you have been able to overcome them, or maybe are still overcoming them?
I have found many youth and also young people. We try to have a conversation with them, but in that mind of a fixed mindset. Yes, so they don't want to come out of that cocoon. They don't want to come out of that nest. And that aspect was a little bit of a challenge. But still, I can't really say I had such a big challenge. But though there were some youth who has some fixed mindset, but when they get involved, as long as they get involved, I saw all of them changing. Even me myself, I look like youth, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, I am youth. Yes, once upon a time, when I was a real youth, life and myself to a change, and just with one lecture like that. But there was a mentor who continuously led me and has never given up on me. And Saturday and tomorrow is Sunday. We have Saturday, Sunday, we run this thing called Weekend Academy. And during this academy, we offer 27 different courses for free, completely free to the society. And if they want to come and take that course, they gotta listen to a mind lecture. Yeah, so they take like electrical engineering. I'm sorry, madam, without going to Tibet. They take electrical engineering for free, automotive engineering for free, beauty classes, beauty courses for free, computer packages for free, and all those, imagine 27 courses. And as we speak right now, I have 5,000 people in my compound taking those courses. And last week I bought 120 computers because to catch up with the new number that has enrolled in the free Weekend Academy. But everything. I don't know whether you know this thing called UI UX. Yes, it's a computer program and that makes mobile phone applications, so apps, mobile phone apps. It's so famous amongst the youth. So youth who are tested with computer skills, if they have the basics, then they can come to that UI UX courses. And even that is also free. But the catch is, if they want to come, they gotta get a stamp saying, I received the mindset training once a week. Yes, so in that also mindset, we have about 200 mentors and counselors. And I have placed all these mentors and counselors to be in charge of like each and one of them and to get to know each and one of them. Yes, 5,000 is, I think that's also another challenge. We have about 200 counselors and mentors, but number is too many, 5,000. I think that's a challenge, also another challenge. But most of the time when we interact with the young people to bring the change of their mindset, I found the challenge that many of them are inside their cocoon, inside the fixed mindset. And so some of them, I find that it takes longer interactions and that I thought that it is really going to be able to guide them and lead them. And many of them just also fall off and disappear and hide away, and that's also another challenge. And so we are currently doing the training for the mentorship and counselors and the TOT trainings, and so that they can lead each and one of them with one another. So still, we are not giving it up. One thing that I hate the most is to give up. Yes, even I'm a marathoner, whether you may look at me as a marathoner or not. I run almost like Kipchoge, but only a few seconds behind Kipchoge. But one of the mindset that I have is you started something, then don't give up, whether you like it or not. A few days ago, I had a backache, and I was thinking to myself, should I still run? Because every day I run 10 kilometers. And sometimes I run 20 kilometers. And so, should I give up? Should I not run because I have a backache? I said, no. If you can rest today, tomorrow you will want to rest. If you can rest 2 days, you want to rest for 1 week. And so, I have a backache, but I don't know whether it's a good thing or not medically, but I still went and ran slowly, another 10 kilometers. And so, the one thing that I hate is to give up. And so, once I bite on the youth, then I never let them go. Yes, either you change or either I change. One of us gotta change. And so I never give up on the young people and the youth, and that's how I was able to also change. And I believe that there are no young people who are worse than me. And then if I received the change and change my mindset and also change my life, I've never thought myself on my business card having the word chairman. Yes, I've never imagined myself like that. I'm still young right now, as you see, almost Vijana, right? Yes, but I've never imagined myself having that word chairman on my business card. But when I brought the change of the mindset, truly I was able to see my whole life changing. And so I have a challenge. Sometimes people are being stubborn and really being in cocoon and fix the mindset, but I never give up on them. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kimani. Round of applause. I have a last question to our Madam CEO before now we welcome questions from the floor. He's spoken about the power of the mind being a tool. And if used in a positive way, it can be a very powerful tool. Now, going back to this country, being a country that is just full of young people. The percentages today, 75.1% of this country constitutes of young people. Young people 35 years and below. Do you think we have the power as young people to make that change, that democratic change, even on matters leadership, even me becoming who I want to become as Wairimo, if I have that positive mind change?
Thank you very much, Wairimo, for that. Before I answer the question, I actually want to thank our team over here. They're actually our partners, all of them. And we chose them very strategically. Because when you look at it, IOF is IYF, I feel like you can hear me? IYF is doing a lot of things that maybe young people don't know. A lot of opportunities that you can take advantage of. And I thank you, Chairman, for being able to even highlight so that the person who is here, you could be, maybe you're not the one, but you know someone who can benefit from that. Please go tell them. The same with the Spread Truth. The one thing that I love about Spread Truth, they have that sports for values. And to be honest, what we need is values. You need to be guided by values as an individual and as a human being. And Coops, again, being able to come here, because when you talk about placement, that's a very critical thing. We have the old way of thinking, but right now they're telling us we can be able to give you advice and all that, to be able to know what career path should you be able to follow. So thank you very much, our partners. Just in case I don't get an opportunity, thank you even for hindering our call to come and talk to these young people. Do we have the power to make change? Do you think you have the power to make change yourself? You are the first person. Before I even tell you, if you do not believe you have the power, then that's the first loss. You have to believe in yourself. Because our minds are very powerful. Just like Chairman there, I also love hiking. And hiking, you have to make it to the summit. I keep saying it's a very expensive and dangerous sport, because you could actually die on the way. Why? Because of altitude sickness. So you have to be very ready. For you to make it into the peak, it's not about how fit you are, but how powerful your mind is, how you believe in yourself. So young people of Kenya, and I'm sure there are those ones watching, the power lies in you as an individual. Don't wait for someone to tell you that you can. You have to believe that you can. Sometimes you're given these positions, and the first thing you start thinking is, I can't. You have the imposter syndrome. No, why me? Unajua, mimi si better than. You start comparing yourself. Stick to your lane. Fuata lane yako. Kama Mungu amesema wewe ni chairman, fanya maneno ya chairman. Ndio? Believe in yourself. Keep pushing. It does not mean there are no failures. That will be lying to yourself. You will find bumps on the way. But those bumps are also learning experiences, learning curves that you can be able to learn and appreciate and improve yourself. But if you don't do it, you will keep asking, what if? What if I did it? But when you do it, you're able to say, hey, by the way, I did it. Let me tell you, we were given an opportunity as National Youth Council to lead Youth Connect Africa. Had we ever done any summit? Never. We had not ever done any big summit. Sometimes we sat down and wondered, how are we coming up with this concept note? Wairimo will attest. And the people who are here who are from the organization, the first question you ask yourself is, okay, sawa, how are we going to get funding? How are we going to make sure that we have 20,000 youth coming to Kenya? But guess what? We never relented. Even when we felt there was so much pressure, we kept on pushing on. And to be honest, I don't know, but me, I'm rating myself, and I believe we succeeded in delivering the summit. So number one, when you're given an opportunity, grab it. Enda ukilani uko mbele. Look for people who can hold your hand and teach you. People who can be able to tell you, by the hapa, even ndio unafanyanga. Because you cannot, tunasemanga kidole kimoja hakiui chawa. I think that one, Kemani, someone will what is the translation in English? What I'm saying is we need each other. We need to work with each other. We need to learn from each other. Even as we push for leadership and governance, trust me, if mmoja wetu akisimama hapa, the one thing that Kemani has said, you will start asking, unatupatia pesa ngapi ndio tukampenie? Ukweli uongo? The first thing we'll ask, unatupatia pesa ngapi ndio tukukampenia? Badala tuangalie, if we support this young person, they are able to go and represent our matters. So we need to change the mindset. We stop looking at how much can I benefit to how much impact can we make if we move together. The one thing that we've continued to see is the minute I see one of us is going up, unfortunately, we are the first to start pulling them down. We need to change that mindset. We need to know that kama yake imefika leo, let's support them. We've been told you clap until your chance comes, keep clapping for others until your opportunity comes and someone will clap for you. So young people, we can be leaders if we believe in ourselves, if we support one another, and if we have that goal of looking at what impact. It's not about me. It's not about how I'm going to be, the accolades and all. But when history is being written, we read of Kwame Nkrumah, we read of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, because they were selfless leaders. So we need to be selfless and stop looking at me. Thank you.
And the audience said, makofi ya Madam CEO iko wapi? Umesikia hiyo kitu? Are you people getting something? By a show of hands, how many people voted in the GE 2022? By a show of hands, kama ulivote 2022 hebu nikuone. Kama ulivote 2022 ulikuwa na ID na ukaenda ukasimama na ukavote. You see how few those hands are? You see how few they are? It's because of what we call voter apathy. Munaenda, munasikiza manifesto, Ruto analeta yake, Raila analeta yake, munasikiza mnasema hata akituambia venye sijui tutaletewa wifi na whatever, hakuna kitu atadumi sivoti mtu. But you realize the power is not in Ruto or Raila. The power is in that vote of yours, that you can influence the person that gets to lead you for 5 years. Alafu mnakataa kuvote, alafu after some months mnenda maandamano. Mkena maandamano mnaambiwa aje? There's nothing you can do. We're going to have to wait for 5 years. Murudi kwa ballot, mchague mtungi. You know, and that is the essence of our discussion this morning, that the power is in your mind, the power is in you as a young person. Madam Kiogora has put it so well that I cannot tell you, if you believe in your heart that you can't, I cannot come to be the person to tell you that you can, right? Yeah, so this morning I hope you're being empowered, and I'd like to take it back to Madam. I think at this time we're going to engage our audience.
Yes, we should.
Whatever questions that you have. Yes. To any one of our panelists, yes. Ama tu opinion, ama yes. View, ama kitu unafeel unataka kuambia wenzako pia wasikie. This is the chance for you. Karibuni.
Sorry. We have a number of questions. We'll be taking 3 at one go. So I can see there's a hand at the back and there are 2 here at the front. So it's also good for you to introduce yourself, say who you are, where you're at. And if your question is to a specific panelist or it's just an open question that anyone can answer. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Anne Wanyoike, and I am here from Power 254. We are a youth-serving organization, and I also double up as the Power podcast host. So I have 2 questions. One is me shooting a shot to Madam Kiogora and Mr. Kimani. If you could kindly allow me to have like maybe 10 minutes after this session for a podcast interview. Global mindsets, because from where I stand, I was raised to be local, but then I grew up in a world that demands me to act global all of a sudden, and then we have this talk about glocalization, but because of the not inaccessibility to information that would allow me to shift my mind towards a global world that I exist in, I find that there's a lot of plagues when it comes to that and for the youth. So yes, how can we localize our mindsets when it comes to how can we localize global conversations, and how can we globalize local conversations? Thank you.
Thank you for your submission. I think there was another question somewhere around here. Here. intergenerational dialogues or trainings touching on the democratic direction, or just dialogues cutting across on contemporary youth issues?
Just a general dialogue cutting across the contemporary youth issues, putting in mind that it is an agency that represents young people in this country. So we expect them to be working on the ground so that they can be able to support young people who are real on the ground, not just to discuss with the urban people alone.
Okay, thank you for that question. You had a second question?
A second question.
And then I will be limiting the questions to one question per person because of time.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
So that you can also have an opportunity to visit other areas.
Another question I want to ask IYF. I want to appreciate for the program they are doing on mind change, which is one of the pillars that we can help us to grow and help young people to achieve their dream. One of the questions is, I wanted to understand if they have any decentral unit, or they only have they only work in Nairobi. Kindly, those are the things I wanted to understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your submission. There's a question, another question over here in front.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yeso Johnson from Kakamega County, Malava constituency, Chegulo Butali ward.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm representing a constituency from there. Maybe if you can give our brother who is drawing that thing an opportunity to tell us what that does to his mind, because we are told what you write and what you read affects your mind. And also, if there are
also this time, by the support of also the ministry, they went to one of the national function in India, and also participated in the Youth Connect event with our IYF students. And I realized international functions giving us an open door for our young people and youth also to globalize as well. And actually, even last year, our youth, they could not travel outside because even 1 week prior to the departure, their passports were not out. But for you to get a Korean visa, you need at least 5 business days. And they didn't even have 1 week to even to have their own passports. And we all kind of gave up and discouraged. And that is the time that the ministry actually got involved and made sure and that all of them got the passport. And then, I'm sorry, but Korean embassy, they are very stubborn. Of this whole globalization and about the mindset and everything. Our youth who went to Korea, is that right? Yeah, so you also went to India, right? Yes, it was a great experience, isn't it? So it really had changed the way they think, the way they see, and also the way they believe in their heart. So for globalization, I hope they can take a lot of this kind of opportunity that is happening within Kenya and also outside. I really wanted to tell the people who are even watching us through online. Also, we believe that our youth NGO organizations and also the ministry and as NYC, I realize that although there are many opportunities, many youth and young people really do not get to know about this. So I hope as the leadership, as a leadership of organization, we need to go one step further and to really let people know this opportunity as well. And those who want to receive this opportunity, I really want to tell the young people to be prepared. To be prepared, such as have your ID card, at least have your national ID card in your hands. Yeah. There are many young people who doesn't have the ID card, and many opportunity comes right in front of their face, and they couldn't get it because they couldn't have their ID card, national ID card. And even to travel abroad, the opportunity comes right in front of their face, but they couldn't grab it because they were not prepared with the international passports. And so those people who have a dream, those people who aims high and really want to take these globalized opportunities, I want them to be prepared so that when the opportunity comes, and they can grab it right away. And for IOIF, do you have any other branch, decentralized? Yes, our headquarters here is located behind Safari Park Hotel next to USIU. But we have branches in about 50 different locations here in Kenya, in Mombasa, Kisumu, Nyeri, all over Kenya. And so if you go to our website, especially the Facebook, IOIF Kenya, our Facebook is very active. If you go there, you can also link with our IOIF branch offices. And this weekend academy that I have spoken to in our headquarters right now, we have about 5,000 young people coming there to receive training. But now we are also decentralizing and these activities to other branches as well. And it is happening right now. And it is pretty active. So I hope they can reach out to Facebook and they can get all the information. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your submission. Madam CEO, over to you.
Thank you very much. I want to go back to the question Ibrahim asked. But before I get there, our institution has been working with partners. And we've been working very closely with partners that some of them are not even here. When you look at policies, we've been able to do 27 policies. And these policies are the ones that guide the programs that are being done at the youth level. At the county level. Reason for this, what we realize when the county is coming up with a program or their annual programs, when you do not have a policy guiding on youth matters, it means you're left out. So through the support of UNDP, we've been able to do 27 policies in ASIL counties. So young people, and these policies, by the way, we did not come up with them. The youth came up with these policies. So we have those drafts that we can be able, so that when they go back to the county, they can be able now to ensure that first of all they are launched. Had been mentioned earlier, just before elections, we went to Kerio Valley. where we took an intergenerational conversation in two communities that don't see eye to eye. One is a farming community, the other one is a pastoralist community. We were able to make people sit down and have a conversation. As Rachel mentioned, last week we were in Kajiado, again, an area where there's a lot of female genital mutilation going on. So just being able to have a conversation with these people, because sometimes you think it has stopped, only to realize it is continuing. So we might have not come to Bungoma. I believe it has been mentioned Bungoma, but it does not mean people cannot get to see what we are doing. Because one of the things that we normally do, you can see in front there is a live stream. Every time we go somewhere, we do live streaming. Because we might not be able to go to all corners. You understand, traveling to each and every corner requires financial support. So what we encourage people is, number one, if you have your event, call us. We'll be able to come and have that conversation. If we have an event, we'll be able to come there and call you. But sometimes it's easier when you have organized, we come and be able to have that conversation. Because also we have financial constraints that we cannot ignore. Apart from that, we have our website, we have our X, we have all the social platforms from Facebook to Instagram to TikTok. You can be able to go and see that conversation going on. And information is power. Don't just look at, I want to be on the ground. Take advantage of, Samburu is having this. Let me watch. Let me follow through. And then you learn and see how can we be able to even bring that conversation to our area. Apart from that, I like what Chairman has said. Ni lazima tukae rada. Tuwezi kaa tu tukisema ati opportunity itakuja na tafuta. You must first of all be very, very alert. Where are these opportunities so that you grab them? Even a conversation like this, if you are not following us on social media, if you are not aligned to what youth programs are, I believe you are somewhere na hautajua kenye kitaendelea hapa. If you're lucky, you will watch on our YouTube channel, or you will watch or see it on KBC and all that. But as I finish, let us take advantage also of what the ministry is doing. Because we are an institution, we do not walk away from the ministry. As I said, we are in the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy, and Sports. And under that, we are under the State Department of Youth Affairs and Creative Economy. And Mr. Chairman will attest there. When it comes to Talanta Hela, we've actually been working with IYF to ensure that we are able to nurture talent. Because sisi wote tutakuwa watu wa kufanya job ya ofisi, si ndio? They are those ones who will be out here working in creative economy. So if we can be able also to take advantage of that, if we can be able to take advantage of Talanta Hela, which is a flagship program for our ministry, just take advantage of that. Showcase what you're doing. Push for it. Come and show us your video of you dancing and what you're doing in the community. That way, you're able to actually benefit from the opportunities that are out there. As the chairman has said, there's a team that went to India. And actually, it was a cultural festival, if I'm not wrong. It was a cultural something that was happening. So again, we are looking at a holistic approach when it comes to youth matter. Tusiangalie tu pande moja. Tuangalie creative, tuangalie kimasomo, tuangalie ki-skills, tuangalie ki-spiritual. Because let me tell you, you cannot institution. Be it a mosque, a madrasa. Asante.
Na for the first 20 years of my life, born and bred in Eastlands, it was a good place, but it basically just degenerated. But JB true, mimi ni jamaa wa mtaa, lakini kwa neema ya Mwenyezi Mungu vitu zili change, and sometimes young people tell us the story, what changed. Because mzee wa mine akaamua sasa tuna move, and he moved us to, sasa tuliingwa kwa Mabombe. Mnajua Mabombe? Sasa tulitoka Bia tukaingia Ridgeways. Ridgeways ni kwa wale washa make it, unaona? What happened? That move, Madam CEO, caused a mindset shift. Kwetu tuko wase wangapi? Tuko 4. Tukajiuliza, kumbe hivi ndio vile watu uishi. Najua nachanganisha watu wa sign language, lakini just keep up with me. Jaribu nawapeleka na Rieng, twende tu. We realize, wow, people live in bigger and better houses. People go to good schools. You can actually achieve these things. To make it short, ndo nisikae hapo sana, the move to Ridgeways connected me to my current boss 22 years ago. True story. That's where I met the Reverend Hamisi Kirenga as he was working as a youth pastor. Now, I got to volunteer in church. I got to volunteer in church activities. You remember we talked about the church being a great mobilizing platform. Guess where I met my first employer? Not my current boss, my had, again, just by the grace of God. He gave me a job. My background is a Bachelor of Science, Information Technology. I was a network engineer, corporate Kenya. Did corporate, but I ran away. Waking up, right? And then, because I was still participating, so we are where? Tuko participating. With what was going on with there, I volunteered. I left corporate Kenya and joined my current boss, who has also been a great mentor. Having met him 22 years prior, 2019, doing what we are doing today. Change of mindset. Kujituma. And then lastly, learning to partner with people. Learning to collaborate with people. Even being here today, Madam CEO, Mr. Chair, is still an opportunity to partner because I do not know what lies ahead. Kijana tu fulani alikuwa amechapa, ameparara, ana maoni, ametoka hapa Eastlands, Biafra. Sasa mimi nimekaa kwa hii platform na machea. By the way, I'm a university dropout twice. That's a story I'm going to give another day. But a mind that is changed. Asante, Madam Rachel.
Makofi sana sana sana, lakini msinde ku drop out. Fate yake ni different. Yeye ameomoka hata after ku drop out, unaweza drop out ikurambe. Aya. Next we are going to have this guy behind me. Sijui kama umenichora.
Good morning. Yes, my name is Brian Olago. I'm a visual artist. We use for many things. For example, what I'm doing here is live illustration. And what we do as Power is using art for social change. You can use art for advocacy. You can use art for creating awareness. You can use art for therapy. What art does to me personally is it gives me, it's like a medium of communication. I get to share ideas. I get to interact with people using what I'm able to do. I just don't do illustration. I sculpt, I paint, I do a variety my art cuts across. So basically, that's what we are going for, and that's why we are here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have any question? Any more question? There's a there's a question here from the audience from a girl who amesema yake ikuje kwa karatasi. But before I read it, can we have a question? I think ulikuwa na swali? Okay.
Has always been based on pity or rather charity, rather than justice or rather rights, to empower them into democratic development. So how can we ensure that the marginalized or rather the underrepresented voices are included in empowerment or rather in efforts to promote collaborative mindsets within the democratic systems?
Thank you for your question. Maybe that question can be answered by our Madam CEO. Then there is also another one. We've been able to, the one who's written, the handwritten note, it's been passed on to the person who's going to answer you. So Madam CEO, kindly. Or is there another question? Our you don't have a question? No, you're okay, you're following. There's another question.
Good morning. My name is NYC, and I'm a mental health advocate. One thing about mental health and mental illnesses is we have an issue with medication. Because, as you all know, these medications are very expensive. And they just keep getting more and more expensive. Like the ones I use, I usually buy them at a chemist in near Archives. And the price per tablet was 25 shillings, which I was used to because it's remained that way for a very long time. Then suddenly 2 weeks ago, I go there and it's already 30 bob. Who does that? Except me versus medication. I'm a lived experience of the efforts of therapy. Because I used to see a therapist who used to take me on pro bono sessions. That is free. And but the doctors will never tell you that. That medication, therapy is better than medication. Because I believe it's a conspiracy for the medication business to continue. Yes. It's a conspiracy.
Thank you for your submission.
I think I didn't catch the name of the gentleman who asked about PWD. I don't know. Maybe you can repeat your name so that I don't. Your name, please? Joe. Joe, thank you for your question on issues to do with people living with disabilities. When I look at it at National Youth Council, our work is to lobby for policies that are youth-centric. And our youth, we don't say we will just represent the youth that are okay. Not to say that the PWDs are not okay. Let me just take that back. We do not say we are going to represent only the youth who are able. We also represent those ones who are differently abled. And that's the reason why when we come to the counties, we have even youth who are differently abled, being able to tell us what would you want when it comes to the youth policy in your constituency or in your county. Reason for this, again, as I said, when there are frameworks, we are able to have programs that are geared to support these people. One of the things that we've been able to do is just ensure that we call even youths who are differently able to come and give their views. When it comes to youth program in your county, what are the challenges you're going through? What opportunities would you want to see? How would you want to be able to benefit when it comes to these programs. Apart from that, I'm sure you're aware of the institution called the National Council for People Living with Disability. That council is the one mandated to represent people who are differently abled. And when they come up with the memorandums, they normally have our view. Who is
And then, madam, they usually say charity begins from home. Charity starts from home. On matters inclusivity, in terms of internally, what have you been able to do as an institution?
Thank you for reminding me that one of the things that we've done, I don't know, is Victor here? Victor, are you here? He's not here. Our head of legal at National Youth Council is a person who is differently abled. And he's the one who actually champions for that because he knows where the shoe pinches. When it comes to those memorandum, he's the one who will rally us up. We sit down in our boardroom, we look at the document, we give governed, the governance structure. We have a youth advisory board. And one of our members is also another very able lawyer who has been actually in this space and also is a person living with disability. So having those two individuals in our institution, it makes even everything that we do become very intentional. Because at the end of the day, we are not leaving any youth behind, whether abled or differently abled. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam CEO. So to Deacon, maybe you can just say something to the submission that we received on with regard to mental health issues.
Thank you, Madam Werimo. I don't know whether the brother is still around or he's left. I think he's stepped out. And just an encouragement that I could extend to him and probably somebody within this gathering that is dealing with a mental illness. I will not delve into the whole conversation about pricing of medication and what goes on around that. But what I will authoritatively say that Kenya as a society, we have come a long way in being able to understand and embrace the fact that mental health is a problem that we have. And as a society, we are willing to go the extra mile to be able to embrace these amongst us who are having this challenge. And there I say, everyone seated here undergoes one form or the other of mental illness. And so, brother, wherever you are, if you can hear me, you are not alone in that journey. And I believe that there are people that will be able to go to you to just embrace you, psychosocial support, and to be able to take you at that level that you are in. I think you're coming in. And so, brother, just to encourage you that you are embraced, that you matter, that mental health is not that taboo subject that we used to sweep under the rug. Just know that you are embraced. Asante.
Thank you so much. And maybe after this session, you can be able to reach out and connect, because as he was answering your question, I think you had stepped out a bit. After this session, you can always liaise and link up and just see how you can be able to help each other. So, parting shots.
There was a question.
Oh, sorry. There was a question. There's a last question.
Yes, about that, the free academy question is about. You can freely walk in and ask questions at our place. The location is located behind Safari Park Hotel and next to USIU University. So if you come all the way to USIU, and it's easily known as GBS TV station, or Mahanaim. That's a little bit difficult, right? Mahanaim. But if you look for GBS TV station, or at USIU gate, if you ask for IYF, which is International Youth Fellowship, then everybody around there would know it. And how long is the course? We do it for 3 months course, and then we do the graduations, and you can also experience many different courses. And I'll give you the office number. It's 0708 333 444. 0708 333 and 444. And by the way, we have a principal of that academy is also together with me. Evans, you can stand up. Evans Mutiga. He is in charge. Right now, we've already started, and actually we closed the registration. But if you still come and look for Evans Mutiga, the principal, and then I hope he let you in. Will you let them in? Or the one who gave me this paper, you can also see him before he leaves. Then I think we just started, so I think you can catch up with the few classes that is ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. I hope you've received his feedback. So, parting shot from our panelists with regard to the mindset change and aligned to democracy.
Yes. Oh, I believe now you're empowered, and we said begins with us, with our mind. So you have to change your mindset. In terms of career, for those who are seeking to pursue careers, still that you have to change your mindset. Don't go into it imagining that you cannot do it. You have to have a positive, can do it, and that you'll be able to do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Young people, my parting shot to you will be this. Be a young person that stands for something. And I'm talking about values. Values that define who you are. Values that give you a framework under which you operate. As Pray Truth Africa, there are 4 key values that we drive forth every time we have an opportunity to sit down with our young people in the communities which we serve. We talk about hard work. We talk about honesty. We talk about love. We talk about self-discipline. That last particular one, self-discipline. Young people, I have had the opportunity of sitting down one-on-one with the great Eliud Kipchoge. And Eliud Kipchoge said this, tell this to the young people. Self-discipline. Self-discipline is key to achieving your goals. For you to be able to define a goal, for you to be able to conceptualize it, and for you to be able to stay the course. Wacha niwaambie watu wangu, hakuna mahali utafika bila kujituma. Wacha nitumie kujituma. Kujituma ndio self-discipline. You have to stay the course. Unfortunately, we live in a society that has watered down what those values mean. I'm one of those proponents. When I hear people say, don't work hard, work smart, I don't even know what that means. Last time I checked, you need to roll up your sleeves and jump into the trenches. You have to. There is no shortcut. So that will be my parting shot. And as Madam CEO said, if you do not get that within yourself fast, trust me, nobody can get that within you. Tunawapenda bure, tunawalombo tovu, si ndio? Na tunashukuru mulikuja. Asante.
I don't know why you are laughing, but I would like to petting shot.
I don't know what he's just saying.
Oh, really?
It's because it sounds very funny.
Okay, let me also laugh together. So let me petting shot talk about 3 Qs. 3Q. One is IQ, intellectual quotient. Today you had IQ aspect, Madam. We have EQ, IYF, emotional quotient, the mindset. EQ is not the only thing that is important. I believe IQ is also very important, and I believe EQ is also very important. I believe SQ is also very important, but all these 3 Qs is got to be balanced in your life. And there are many opportunities out there, and I really hope that you don't give up. As long as you don't give up, for sure it will be accomplished. I'm not that old, I'm not that young, but in such a young age like this, I was able to experience how many impossibles came about true. If you come to our compound, within this year we are opening a university, my own university. We already started with college, and we've been doing the college for now more than 15 years now. We are opening a university, and we are giving all that back to the society by doing free weekend academy. But opportunities are there, grab it, and then I believe that all of you will also receive that great blessings. Don't forget, no matter how impossible it may be, it will be accomplished. Never give up. Thank you very much.
My parting shot. You know, the hardest bit is starting. And the minute you start, everything takes its course. Right now, we are here talking about mindset change. And we grappling with right now is how do I start so now what I was saying is the hardest bit of is starting. So you have to remember every morning you wake up, what do I want to achieve? What change do I want to see as a human being? What change do I want to have in my community? Tusikue tu watu wa kupokea. How can I be able to give back to the community? When I go back to National Youth Council,
Try this one.
hii conversation imeenda ikaenda. But you know what? You remember the half glass full and half glass empty and all? This is the opportunity. It was given opportunity to stand and breathe. Sindio? That's how I'm going to take it. So what I was saying is, when we start, we learn as we move forward. So you must start. The one thing that they keep saying, if you want to start going for exercise walks and whatever, you know the first win is what? It's not actually going for the walk. It's getting out of bed. That's your first win. Because it shows you want to change something in your life. So the same thing. You are here. You want to make a change in your community. The first act of doing that, either coming up with a concept or the program, you've already started changing something. You might not have changed anyone's life, but you've started the process. So please, vijana, ensure you start. Hizo zingine zitajileta. For National Youth Council, the one thing I will continue promising you, we will continue partnering with such powerful partners who can be able to empower you with information, who can empower you with an opportunity and a platform to learn. Because the one thing we actually suffer from is misinformation and lack of information. So please, kijana, si umepata information leo, go inform someone else who was not there. That's the first mentorship. You can also be a mentor. That's the first act of being a mentor. So don't allow yourself to... Asanteni sana.
Tumpigie makofi. So, hiki kipindi kimeisha, Rachel. Sio? So to our audience, thank you so much. Do you have something, Rachel, to tell our audience?
I'd like to thank them so profusely for making time to be here today. Makofi kwenu. Asanteni sana IYF. Mnarudi kudance? Mnarudi kubanja hapa juu?
Rachel, hauna parting shot?
My parting shot is...
Kama kijana.
Kama kijana, as a young person, yes, I'm part of this group. I should be seated there. As much as I'm here, this is where I should be.
Change of mindset. That's why you're seated there.
Nimekuja huku. You started us by saying that we are quick to wanting to change the world. We forget that we should start with ourselves.
Yes.
And I will back that up and say, if you do not change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will not change.
Yes.
So you change the way you look at things, and the things that you look at will do what?
Will change.
Will change. Let's leave this place empowered. Let's go change our mindset. Let's become better young people. To our panelists, thank you so much for making time to be here today.
Yes.
Until next time, I have been your host, Rachel Makuba.
And Wairimo Waweru, asanteni. DJ, chapa kitu.
Thank you very much. Just before the DJ does it, kidogo. Thank you very much. Naomba msimame tu hapa mbele pamoja mpigwe picha nzuri ya kumaliza na mwapigie makofi for the insightful conversations ambazo tumekuwa nazo. Announce that. So, naona pia mkiangalia mkiangalia wale watu wanakuja wakidance, nia yao kubwa ni kutubeba. Lakini kabla watubebe tunataka tumalize mambo yetu hapa, so I want to invite the
Before we invite officially Nerima to close, there is one of us, Willis. He's here, he's lost his bag. It's a small blue bag and it's written Nat Geo. Kindly, if you have seen it, please return it to him. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, National Youth Council, and also very happy to have the fruitful conversations at the Youth Village. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. As you can see, we are being welcomed to the main stage. So let's give everyone a round of applause for the hard work and the partners involved. And the Youth Village is finally closed and had a fruitful PDF. Well done, everyone.
If I were to give one example, I used to have a girlfriend. I have right now. When I was in high school, I won't talk about my university life. It's too close. I'll talk about farthest possible. When I was in high school, I had a girlfriend, and then when I had a girlfriend, I buy a soda, and then can I drink the soda by myself? I don't give to my girlfriend. I have to give to my girlfriend, right? Yes. But buying the soda and giving it to my girlfriend, first serving my girlfriend, first serving the one who is close to me, first serving the one who is next to me, was a great joy and happiness in my life. Yes. But now people, they forget about that. Being able to help other person next to you, being able to serve other person next to you, is going to bring you a big happiness and joy and in your heart. But people are fixed with the mindset thinking that I get a soda, I need to drink it for myself. I need to use this soda for myself so that I can quench my thirst and I can be happy first. Yes, that had really changed the society, democratic society a lot, and made the whole democratic society to make it very rough and aggressive. And so through these activities of IYF and the mindset training, I hope more people can wake up to see that being able to serve whom we love, being able to serve the democratic society, the people around us first, not me first, but people around us first, is also equally going to give you the true happiness and joy and thankfulness also in their hearts. So IYF really want to continue to do that work of helping people to wake up and to serve other people.
Amazing. All right, so one clarion call to the young people of Kenya. I'll start with you, Madam Kiogora.
The one thing that I would request our young people to do, number one, be present. Be where the conversation is happening. Believe in yourself. There's a lot you can be able to do. And the number one thing that I wish, one of our core values at National Youth Council is pushing for voluntarism. And you will be very, very shocked. Right now, if you call youth, the first question they'll ask you, how much are you giving me?
Yes.
How will I benefit?
Eco-fair.
Even if eco-fair, eco-lunch.
Eco-lunch.
When you are supposed to be benefiting by getting a platform to get such kind of conversation. I wish we can change our mindset to that one of being able to give. There is so much joy, as chairman has said, in giving rather than in receiving. And because I believe our country is a very religious country, all of us start from that grassroots of a Sunday school. Let's remember the values that we were taught there. There is much joy in giving than in receiving. So let us push for that voluntarism. Hata ukiambiwa kujeni tu, tukue na kikao, tukue na conversation, tujue nini na happen. Kuja kwa sababu number one, you will learn something. Number two, unaweza chukua information usaidie mtu mwingine. Let us not have that mind that is fixed on financial gain or other sorts of gains. Let us just ensure that when we are coming here, how am I changing? Because anyone that actually attended, even the people who are here, we are not going back the same way. That's true. We have changed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And your clarion call to the young people, wherever they are.
Thank you very much. I really want to tell the young people to keep their dreams, because I realized their dreams at 10s, and then their dreams at 20s, their dreams at 30s, their dreams at 40s, their dreams at 50, it all changes. But whatever the dreams that they had, whatever that they enjoyed, I hope they don't change their dream, because everything is possible. And they have a dream and they cement it and they search for the way. There's always a way. You want to be a doctor, you think it's impossible. It is possible, there's a way, as long as you don't give up on it. And I realized that also Kenya, working closely with many international organizations, I realized that and there are many given opportunities. And so I really want to tell people that don't change your dream, stick to your dream, what you love to do, and just don't give up on it. If we contemplate and think about it, then there's always a way and opportunity, and be prepared for that opportunity.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Madam Kiogora, Mr. Kim, or AKA Kimani, thank you so much for the privilege of your time. I'll tell you what I'm leaving here with. Representation, participation, association. That is something that I picked up from you. Until the next time on our Power podcast, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. May I kindly have your number?
Yes, as he's preparing the...
Yes, yes.
I think you guys did a brilliant job.